Hey there, and welcome to Thousand Ant. I'm Matt Shell. In this video, I want to talk about platforms, algorithms, traffic, and saturation, and how we as creators and developers can kind of surf those waves. Let's get started. So actually, when I first started thinking about this, I wanted to make a video just about TikTok, but I actually did a video talking with the great Thomas Reisenegger about TikTok, and I think we kind of covered a lot of the basics there. I'm totally experimenting on there because TikTok as a platform is in a kind of a Wild West phase. It's in a growth phase, it's in an unsaturated phase, and that makes it an interesting opportunity for content creators, right? If you're someone like me who does not have a huge social media following, getting onto new platforms can either be really difficult or kind of more easy and more fun, depending on the life cycle stage of the platform. This is so much of what we're dealing with, right, as creators on these platforms, whether it's Steam or YouTube or TikTok, is what season is the platform in? Is it in a saturated season or is it in an earlier season? What tactics then do we need to take? So for example, Nintendo Switch, when it first came out, got a reputation for being good for indies, right? Because there were no indies on there and there weren't that many first-party titles either. There just weren't that many games in the beginning. So there were a few people who, through luck, timing, good planning, whatever, were there in the early season of the platform, got a lot of sales and did really well, right? And then went around saying, oh yeah, Switch, great for indies, right? And people were like, oh, okay, great for indies, got it, you know? And of course, that was just a moment in time. Obviously now, Switch, the eShop, is heavily saturated with indies. It's not a good place to launch as an indie. And there's like weird stuff now of people selling their game for 99% off to try to get in the leaderboards. Those kind of desperate moves are a sign of a saturated platform, right? When you see that stuff happening, people putting their game up for 99% off so they can get on the sales charts, right? Or I think I said leaderboards, which is kind of funny, but then you know that the platform is crowded and saturated, right? And so you, as a game developer, thinking about, okay, I'm a small game developer without a big source of traffic. I'm not famous myself. Am I going to target that as my kind of main and only platform? You better have a plan, right? Because it's going to be difficult. On the other hand, you have a platform like Steam, which is arguably also saturated, but because of its algorithmic nature and I would argue more indie-friendly tooling, you still do see people who have indie games without a big following, but that aligns with certain Steam-friendly, Steam-like characteristics who can pop off on Steam and get sales without having tons of outside traffic. That's not like a reliable strategy, right? That's not something I would recommend to anybody, but we do see it happening in a way that, for example, eShop, I think it's a lot less likely. Kind of understanding the nature of these platforms and their algorithms and how it's all working is weirdly becoming more and more and more part of our job as creators, business people, indie game developers, right? Understanding the context of each of these things. And also the weird part of it is that knowing that, so I'm starting production now on the Untitled Cute Space game. It's probably going to be another 2 years at least, you know, before it comes out. Who knows what the market is going to be doing then? Will Nintendo have released a new console? Will Steam have done something crazy? Is Stadia or something like that going to be a player? Is Apple going to get huge? We just don't know, right? And so this is a weird situation that you kind of have to make a decision 2 years out. But for example, one thing that I know is that, you know, targeting Switch in 2 years, I know how Switch is now, that yeah, it'll be good to be there, but it's not going to be like a free source of traffic or an easy place to get sales. It's more like just another storefront to be on if you have a game that's good for those players, which I think in this case my game will be, so I want to be there. Hopefully Nintendo drops a new console and we can jump on the front of that and be ready. We'll see. Getting a sense of how all these things are moving. Where are the places where holes in the market are opening up? Where are the places that are crowded and saturated? Where are platforms where I can create content and get traffic, like TikTok right now? Where are platforms where I'm going to have to be on a crazy grind, like YouTube? This is a skill that you can develop of looking at kind of platform opportunity or platform life cycle, and using that to think about business decisions and then trying, very difficult, to project 2, 3, whatever years out, I think is a skill worth developing, because for good or ill, these platforms really dominate the landscape that we're in terms of both distribution, marketing, just business for us living on the internet as independent creators in the 2020s. These are survival skills. You know, understanding how these things work and how these kind of giants move through the landscape is going to be the difference, I think, in many cases between success and failure. A little bit of a rant, a little bit of a, I don't know. Is it interesting? I don't know. Let me know. Give me a like if you liked it. Give me a comment if you totally disagree or have something to add. I always love to hear from you. If you're enjoying the content, do consider subscribing. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.